And hello everyone, here I am again, stream number 9, and I believe maybe 2 more streams left to finish it. Well, the problem is that Kuluk is streaming approximately 10 PM started, and I simply must be on his stream, so I had just an estimate that it will be just 2 streams. Well, no estimation. Let's go. Oh yeah, I almost finished episode number 4, I understand? Almost. I'm still doing investigation. Now let's check the sound. Test. And the sound is working. So, I already talked to him about everything, but we didn't make any progress, so despite he said that he will not check any evidence in the list. He must have said something. So, he doesn't want to read Asagi papers. I'm also sure that it's just second variant. The first one he hidden, and usually you can hide it in his sword because, well, if somebody watched Bleach read the manga, you can actually open the sword and put something inside of it. Let's see. Oh yeah, this one of course. This came up in the trial, didn't it? As something little dubious, I mean. The fact that no time of death was recorded on Inspector Greggson's autopsy report. Yes, there were some unexpected turns in the courtroom earlier. Turns? The suggestion you came up with certainly took everyone by surprise. The idea that the victim died the previous day at some other location is quite something. Well, considering when the pocket watch had stopped and the scorch marks on the candle, certainly a distinct possibility. The evidence on the stand was point to it. To be honest, it bothered me too. Why actually a killer makes such a great mistake, but not actually destroying the watch? So I paid a visit to the autopsy room earlier. Coroner responsible wasn't there, but I got a name. It's Dr. Gori. If it wouldn't trouble you, Kazuma-sama, very much like to speak with the coroner too. But, of course, the last thing I want is for anything to be brushed under the carpet. Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory is behind Lodgate Cemetery. Lodgate? By Berkeley Prison, you mean? Now you know it, do you? The prison where my father was incarcerated and robbed up his life. Well, thank you. We'll pay a visit to the laboratory later today. So that we already know this laboratory now? We're here, or not? Ransky. I want to thank you. For what? What for? For this. Oh yeah, so. The real wheel is inside of this. Got it now. You safeguarded the soul of the Asagi clan. Well, it's a famous word that been in your family for generations. But he didn't check it himself, by the way. The only slight regret is that I never got the chance to draw it before I returned it to you. Harama is said to have been forged by master swordsmiths during the Sengoku Warring States period. I come from a long lineage of warriors, many of whom were expert swordsmen. Well then, you achieved all the old block, I'd say. This blade, Karma, is a symbol of the Asagi clan's honor and might. Apparently, one of my father's apprentices even took the blade's name for a surname. Really? Karma does sound formidable, that's for sure. 16 years ago, when my father was a visiting student here in London, he had these words forever at his side. Which is why it means so much to me that I have it by my side again, now too. And that is all thanks to you. It was an honor. Now, I have preparations to make for tomorrow. Perhaps I said a little too much. Kazuma, you've changed. No, Ryusuke, I haven't changed at all. It's you who's changed. I can completely understand your statement of Kuluk01's given what happened, but the fact is, those events and this case are, well, unrelated? Is that what you want to say? How can you be so sure? What do you mean? Never mind. That man is the Reaper, and it's for that reason that the inspector was killed. I'm going to prove as much in court tomorrow, by whatever means necessary. I can't let you do that, Kazuma. I know you'll do what you have to as a lawyer, but I'm sure I don't need to tell you that I won't be taking any prisoners in the courtroom. Don't expect nothing less. Until tomorrow then, in the Old Bailey. If this Old Bailey, there must be a New Bailey as well. Okay, forensic laboratory. Let's see, is it the same room? It looks, well, slightly updated, but in general it's the same. This place really is creepy, isn't it? Well, being a dead room, it's probably full of the spirits of the dissected? Not dissected. But actually, there's a rather pleasant scent of roses in the air. Well, being a dead room, the coroner probably needs a bold scent like that to mask the odor of death. Nice. Do you think we could change the subject? Sounds like a knife or X. What was that? Definitely X. Dr. Ogoni? I don't know the name of this thing on the left. But on the right it's called what? Noise before. I was sharpening my tools. But wait a second, you cannot sharp it like this. Be dead meat if I didn't keep a perfectly keen edge on them. Right. When following the collagen fibers into the dermis, an expertly sharpened scalpel cuts like cheese. Would you like a demonstration? Yes, please, I'd love to see. Then, I think you'll do nicely with the she said. Cut like cheese? Cuts like cheese? What? How cheese can cut something? Oh, it's cutting something like it's cheese, but cheese is not so easy to cut. No, I wouldn't do nasty at all. I mean, maybe some other time. What's the top? Well, we came here to ask questions, so... No, it's definitely the same room. Looks like an old car up here, up there. I know, and they haven't even touched since we came in here. Well, no, they wouldn't have the taxidermy mounts, Mr. Naruto. Certainly we're going to say that. Totally the same dialogue about this, no? I think they're totally the same, so let's just keep it. I want to check something new. And something new is this one. This looks different to before. Of course, Mr. Naruhodo, Miss Gory is a young maiden. Hello, Richard. Nice to see you. She has all sorts of charming little dolls and the like around. She plays a 4 o'clock. Yes, you're right. Perhaps she's not so strange at all. Say how I practice. Sorry? I always say that operation in dissections requires speed and accuracy. So I take out my needle and thread and stitch 3 new dolls every day. Alright. I used to make livers and kidneys or intestines, but Mama told me to make something more friendly instead. That's quite different to what I imagined. Look at all the bottles on the shelves. In these cabinets, what an assortment of chemicals? The ones here labeled highly toxic. That's worrying because there are also things that look like salt and pepper. Shaking that. Wait a second, totally it's the same like an iris room? Oh, no. No, it was the same room. And the same dialogue. No, I'll stop checking everything. I also thought that I will check in this cat or something, but no, I actually was by checking this. There's definitely nothing new. Maybe something. Let's present this report first. Dr. Gloria, we actually came here to ask you about this. He was very good. Good? Sorry? Skin didn't snag my blade once, and very little mess. His joints dislocated easily, and his muscle tissue was a pleasure to work with. We can skip those details. But there's one thing about the report that's caught my attention. You don't seem to have recorded a time of death. It's not my fault. This made me jump. So please, tell us what happened. So, why doesn't this autopsy report include the victim's time of death then? It's really the most crucial detail. I was told not to write it. What? By whom? Al Strongheart? The Lord Chief Justice? He came here? That's kinda very suspicious. Because in this case, whoever did this made a great mistake. Isn't it? Okay, what is my Wi-Fi? It's not connected. Alright. A lot of text. It's huge amount of text. It's definitely longer than any visual novels that you'll play, but actually it's like 2 games in a one pack. This remake. Mal Strongheart, the Lord Chief Justice. He came here. What? Strongheart came? Said that from the witness statements about the gunshot and the other evidence it was obvious. The man clearly died at 5 PM on 1st November when the gunshot was heard. But that's not the time of death you wrote in the report. You didn't write anything. Was there some reason you didn't include it? Dr. Gorian, if you're hiding something under Lord Strongheart's instructions, then sooner or later you're going to go the same way as your mother. Give it here then. What's she scribbling so furiously? Then, okay, see you. You writing time of death? What's she writing? Tell us. What? Indeterminate? But according to the coroner, Dr. Goret, an accurate estimation of the time of death is not possible, but what about approximate? Let me check it. Evidence suggests measures may have been taken to disguise the time of death. Okay. What do you mean by that? Why was the time of death indeterminate? When the specimen was brought in, it was still fresh, so the time of death could easily have considered is when the gunshot was heard. But there was one small discrepancy. What discrepancy? There was some fried fish in the pocket of the specimen's overcoat, and that fish had started to rot. What? If the victim liked fried fish, he presumably liked to eat it before it went off. Well, yes. What are you really trying to say? It's possible that someone tried to manipulate the apparent time of death. Manipulate them? Is it even possible to know? Okay, criminal definitely made already 3 different mistakes. Very critical. 1. Theoretically, if you were to chill the body in ice, you could delay the onset of petrification. And if the overcoat wasn't on the body at the time, then only the fish would have started to rot. Today's science is not yet possible to determine if the body was chilled or not. But today's science is advanced enough to let you freeze a corpse, it seems. But surely, to chill a corpse like that would require an enormous electrical refrigerator. And I don't imagine many households in London are equipped with such a device. No, definitely not. Maybe in a factory, some other special places. Were refrigerators actually invented at this time? I really doubt. I don't recall seeing any factories or such like on Preston Street Zone. I wonder if the inspector's body had been chilled somehow. What might the actual time of death have been? Couldn't say for sure. But at the most, it might have been a day earlier. Oh! In other words, it would corroborate your previous deduction, Mr. Naruhodo. That Inspector Gregson was killed a day before his body was discovered at a different location. Okay. Did you inform Lord Stronghurst of this possibility? He simply said that there were no electrical refrigerators of that size in the vicinity. Or vicinity. Oh yes, one other thing. It's something the governor of Berkeley Prison told us. He said that your mother, Dr. Shizu, was responsible for confirming the death of the professor after his execution. The professor. Apparently you always enjoyed listening to your mother's stories about your work, so we were wondering if you might know something about what happened 10 years ago. That's not all Mama did. Sorry? My mom carried out the autopsy of Kuluk01's as well. What? Really? The Brussels Lord 1-6, the professor's final victim. The idea of carrying out an autopsy on a member of the aristocracy was completely unthinkable back then. But the detective in charge of the investigation insisted it was miraculously authorized. Detective being Inspector Gregson, of course. Quite an accomplishment for one man. That autopsy provided the vital clue needed to arrest the killer. And Mama, what's there? What's that historic event? What does all this mean? You know, that amazing autopsy happened right here, in this very room. The professor and Kuluk01's. They both spent their final moments before their war on that this section table there. So this lab, Mama's lab, was instrumental in some of the country's most important events. She really is proud of your mother. I wonder if you tell us more about exactly what happened back then, Dr. Cody. Alright. You mentioned the autopsy of Kuluk01's. It was at a time when carrying out autopsies of murder victims was very unusual. Still not a practice that's observed in our country even now. Turned out that he was the professor's final victim, and when the autopsy was performed, Mama was present, also only as a secondary assistant. The person leading the procedure was called Dr. John H. Watson. That's right, my dear. And there was one other person present, the primary assistant. He was a visiting student from the Far East. Wait, a visiting student? Must have been my father, Eugene Mikotova. I had no idea Professor Mikotova had been involved in something so important. But the outcome of that historic autopsy was the discovery of a vital piece of evidence that led to the capture of the professor. So that's how they came to identify as a detention of the infamous mass murderer. Do you happen to know anything about that piece of evidence? Can you tell us any more? Would you like to see the records for yourself? Would that be alright? What's the point of keeping records if people can't look at them? They're filed under V at the back of those cupboards with the other records from the last decade. Thank you. Let's see, 16. That's strange. Look, Mr. Norholo, they aren't here. There's nothing under 16. There must be. Somebody took them away? No, no one's allowed to take documents related to the professor case out of this room. But you're right, they're gone. Well, when was the last time somebody looked at them? Do you remember? It was... Oh yes, remember now. It was 2 years ago. A consultant detective came one day saying that he'd like to see the records. You don't mean Sherlock Holmes? Sherlock Holmes was his name. Deep down I knew that was coming. Do you think he stole the records? Just borrowed. No, surely not Iris. That can't be right, can it? Iris. Professor's execution was Mama's first big case. She had to be in attendance at Berkeley Prison's execution chamber and sign a certificate to confirm the convict's death. That was the best scholar in the world, you know? I was so proud of him. The execution didn't actually take place. No one but still, Mama actually helped with the jailbreak. I didn't want to know. Oh, there, you found out recently, you mean? I believed in you, Mama, but now I wonder if I'm starting down the same path as her. You mean because you omitted the time of death on this autopsy report? Was it because Lord Strongheart forbade you from including it? Just like Mama, I'm sure she was cursed by somebody too. Yes, that's my feeling as well. There's no doubt that there were powerful forces at play 10 years ago. The execution couldn't have been staged without a lot of people at the prison knowing about it. Hello, Venom. Obviously, in the prison, Gordon must have been in on it as well. Big man with the little handcuffs? According to what he told us, he was tricked by the chief warder. He says he knew nothing about it. Because he said that I'd seen the Simpson. Just who was behind the jailbreak all those years ago? Rona. I hope you don't mind, but... What is it, Iris? I just remembered something very important I have to do. I'm going to have to leave you now. It's very sudden, Iris. Well, we'll come with you then. No, there's no need. You and Runa can take your time here. Yeah? Bye for now then, good luck. Wait a minute, little girl. Me? I remember now. You've been here before, haven't you? Have you, Iris? Yes, 2 years ago when that detective came. You were with him, weren't you? You were leaving specimens then too? That's the way it usually works, yes. Was I? I really don't remember. Anyway, sorry, but I must dash. Oh, wait, Iris. I'll brew our pot for you when you get home. What's the matter with her? She's behaving really strangely all of a sudden. Well, in that case, we won't keep you any longer either. It's been quite a while since I had any visitors. This was really fun. But next time you come appropriate if you were ready for this section. Can't make any promises, sorry. It's a bit strange that the records of Kuluk01's autopsy have disappeared. I think we've asked all we came to ask now. Indeed, and what is next? She says that she'll be waiting at home, so can simply go there and check. And there's nobody here. You just lied to me. Alright, let's move to... here? Nobody here as well. We're supposed to go now. Well, let's check everything one by one. I already was here and... wait a second. Nothing here. Oh, here. Alright. Oh, by the way, trunk appeared here. The police are still busily investigating here then. Where did they find it? But Gina's nowhere to be seen. Where is she? Yes, it has been blissfully quiet, hasn't it? Perhaps she's out investigating her own, practicing what her boss taught her. Well, I expect she'll be back before too long. Shall we wait? Actually... there's something different about this room since the last time we were here, isn't there? Could always use the time to investigate more thoroughly. So let's check this. This little trunk wasn't here before, was it? It appears to be made of metal. Must be very heavy. What is this on its side? Wonder to whom it belongs. There's some initial on the outside look. TJ. Let's ask one of the policemen if they know how it came to be here. What do you think you're doing? That's it's my trunk. That is. Hands off. Gina! Where you hiding? I don't know, you leave something attended for a few seconds and every Tom, Dick and Harry's got his greedy eyes on it. Just a wild guess, Gina, but spit it out, Hannah. Is it fair to say that you only own the trunk since this morning's trial? What? What are you trying to say? Come on, this trunk goes with me everywhere. Always has. And have you been the last year? Try not to incur your wrath, Manly. So what? We haven't seen you for a little while, have we, Gina? Well, of course not. I've been busy, aren't I? Instigating and that. Lads at the yard are trying to trace the boss' movements the day before it happened. The day before. It would be the undercover investigation into the red-headed league then. Only the boss didn't go, did he? You found some... what was pretending to be him? Didn't you, Adam? Hello, anime Rama? Yes, it was Mr. Mittermon who actually went to the park on live streams that day. Wasn't as Gregson. Well, anyway, you aren't the only one tuning stuff up. I've got my own ways of getting results. When me and my partner here get together, there's nothing we can track down. Little Toby is such a faithful friend. So, have you tracked anything down then? What do you think? Cause we have. I tell you so, police business, ain't it? Anyway, the point is, if you not ever need any help, you know who to turn to, right? Me and the Hellhound here. Right, because he looks also hellish, honest. What was Hellhound? Gina, about your Hellhound there. Chief Inspector Toby, you mean? He's the pride of the force, he is. In Japanese, police dog means something quite different and not altogether nice to those involved in crime. But here in Britain, it's a wonderful compliment, it seems, for canon, at least. Should be, after all, in the great exhibition here the other day. Was Toby here who managed to locate Drebber's workshop? Maybe it's time for another demonstration of what this superdog can do, huh? We have something the Chief Inspector could catch a standoff, I wonder? We have? Let's see. I don't know yet. The gun? Why? The right herpes? Can he, by the way? Well, Chief Inspector Toby, if you would mind having a sniff of this. Might be a little too keen, don't you think? Chief Inspector made short work of Gina there. Oh, look what he's gone to. Why, the trunk really still was a very strong stand of Inspector Gregson. In other words, it must have belonged to him. Alright, it's a fair cop, I suppose. And you nearly got away with it too. I've always talked so proudly of Chief Inspector Toby's nose and what it can achieve. did not cross your mind that he might identify something that was right next to us? Yeah, that was a bit of a bloomer, wasn't it? Just enough nonsense, Gina. I think it's time you told us the truth about that trunk. It went like that, it just went. What are you talking about? I know what's going through that head of yours, but that aren't what happened. Alright then, what did happen? Well, like I said before, we were trying to trace the boss movements. So let Toby here have a sniff, maybe, of the boss overcoat. And as soon as I done that, he went off like a shot. Straight to that sandwich. To sandwich? Not to back of shields? So Naruhodo, if Gina means the witness. Forget about that sandwich. Me not. Yeah, he had it hidden between them wooden boards of his, the boss trunk. You mean when they heard the sound like a gunshot and all peeled in hair? Exactly, he nabbed it for all the stand. Goodness. Me and the chief inspector gave that sandwich a good grilling, and you know what he said? I thought it might fetch a good price and the chap wouldn't be needing it anymore, so... But that's all I did, nothing more, nothing less, maybe? You down Eve, the cheek of it, huh? Stealing the dead boss's stuff to flog. So, Miss Venus wasn't the only one to meddle with the scene of the crime scene. How could they? So anyway, that's how it happened. And it's a pretty decent trunk, so I figured I might as well make use of it. Is there something wrong with that? Huh? Well, maybe you, Mr. Sandwich, should try to find the answer to that question together. Boss, you should have them talking at the yard now. They should be ashamed of themselves. They're saying that it was the boss who killed all them bludgeons. You mean the whole Reaper scene? Yeah. Apparently, the boss was instigating stuff that no one else at the yard knew nothing about. Stuff to do with all them criminals, but got off scot-free. The other one prosecutor by Lord 16 who used bribery and corruption to await conviction. Well, then obviously it was that blooming Reaper giving the orders, wasn't it? But why would people be suspecting Inspector Gregson of being involved in the killings? There was a notebook hidden in his office. Oh no, this doesn't sound good. It had details about all the crimes that have been patched at the Reaper's work. How can it be the evidence or proof? What? No, did you see it, Gina? Did you see that notebook? They wouldn't let me. I'm just an apprentice, apparently. But it was me who found it, and he was my boss. That's right. I was pretty miffed about it, so I sneaked a peek at what it said anyway. It's all Gina. So, you managed to see what was written in Gregson's secret notebook anyway, did you? The way I see it, it's my right to read what he wrote. And what had he written, Gina? Dates, times, places, names, names. And a whole long list of them. All details about the bludgeons supposed to have been done in by the Reaper. But there could be an explanation for that. Perhaps it was records of the inspector's investigation into the Reaper's activities. Exactly, that's what I said, that's the first thing you'd think, right? And it happens, it was full of names I recognized anyway. Those repressed targets were almost exclusively known leaders of London's criminal underworld. Well, yeah, but there was one name right at the end that was a bit odd. At the end of the list, you mean? I'm pretty sure the date against it was 31st October, the day before the inspector was found dead. So, what was the odd name? It wasn't like a name I've ever seen before, it was something like a... No, it's no good, I can remember it. I don't think it was an English name, but in that way. Oh dear, what a bit. There was something else too, I don't know if it matters, but that same name kept coming up over and over. Noodles for the breakfast? Sure it was. Don't suppose it mean anything, but... Can you say Shin? But it does mean something? Romance username too, he mentioned here as well. The one who actually did the deeds. And now you find out your name appeared in Gregson secret notebook. So what is inside the trunk? I think perhaps that trunk should be turned over to the police, don't you? What are you on about? I'm the police. Jenna, if you wouldn't mind, could you may examine it? Yeah, right then, do what you want with it. Thank you. We shall make a detailed record of our examination of the evidence. What? What's the matter with Toby? Why is he acting so aggressively towards me all of a sudden? No, be careful. It must be the trunk. What was this? Toby, what are you doing? You're gonna lick his face off. Mr. Naruhodo! Jump quickly. Hella courage. What was this about? What? Are we at home now? Just heaven. Mr. Naruhodo, are you alright? It's Susadol. Oh. Conscious again at last. A blessed relief, my dear fellow. After all, to drop dead after moderate leaking by a small terrier, most unseemly. What is or isn't simply too irrelevant here, Mr. Holmes? I'm so glad there's no lasting damage. How are you feeling? I'm fine. Thank you. Did you bring me back here? Oh, what's this on my head? A bandage? Sadly, we had no eyes, so that's a compress of sugar water? What? Sugar water? Don't worry, Mr. Naruhodo, it's a first aid treatment that my father taught me. What? How can it be a treatment? Thank you. So let us take tea when you're feeling up to it. But of course, no sugar in the patient's cup. Oh, my head is dropping sweetly enough, don't worry. Whenever you feel ready then. Thank you for your concern, Mr. Holmes. Therefore, think nothing of it. I must say I was quite startled. By the way, forgot to check the trunk. It's all of this. We've seen this huge gash across the side of the trunk here. It's gone right through the leather into the metal behind. For a metal chest like this, have been so badly damaged. By what? Sword bullet? Tell me the gash must have struck the side of the trunk with considerable force. Wonder how it happened. Look at this dark stain here. Do you think? Yes, I'm afraid so. Think it's blood. We were going to say that, so that presumably means that this was present at the scene when Inspector Gregson was killed. It's the most logical conclusion, yes? Some Jenna's been carrying this around with you. If you didn't know any better, I suppose it does look like a grease stain from all the fish and chips. Let's have a look inside. And salt. Red grease stain? Ketchup? Look, there's something inside. Let's see. It appears to be a passport, authorizing him to travel overseas. Was Inspector Gregson about to go on a trip abroad then? What's the date of departure might tell us something. That was 10 years ago? What is it? It was for travel 31st October, just one day before the incident. What? Really? To France. Gregson went to France the day before his body was discovered. Then that's all. There's nothing else to check. Like, what are those bottles? Do you see that? There's something stuck in the side of the trunk. There, it's blinking. Looks like a fragment of metal of some sort. But it's wedged in so tightly I can't remove it. Well, don't cut yourself. But leave with this thing. So it's a knife. Something. You saw this! It's a bug! I can't believe this. Why trunk stay here? I just discovered some bug. Thomas Gregson, passport number ACD-0522, date of departure, within 1 week from 31st October. Destination port of Dunkirk, France. This business permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. Look at this! Oh my god. Well, to undo this I think I need to move somewhere, but that's very funny. Look at this. Look at this. Look at all of this. I can't even look at something here. The room across the hall is undisturbed, of course. Okay, I know what this is. The room. And I already remember this dialogue. Okay, how supposed to move? This back button is still on the right bottom. Maybe I need to save and reload. Just back to the Discord. Look at this! It's in front of me. Let's get German. Wait, it's gonna he say in something like I asked for sausage or something, and he broke two teeth because of some wood.
Und auf den ersten Streich alle Seiten es zerriss wie Ode an die Wut. Herr mit dem Schwarzbiergebot.
Let's repeat it. So in the beginning he said that he ordered dark beer, and when he was drinking he felt that it was like fire. When he ate sausages, it was like it was wood. But the last one... Oh, what was this? Oh, no, not like wood, like diamond. Diamond was inside the sausage.
Herr dem seid holdlich gelobt. Und auf den ersten Streich alle Seiten es zerriss wie Ode an die Wut.
Let's say I understand what was this.
Herr mit dem Schwarzbier.
Okay, the last one, he asked for some musical instrument, and when he started using it, maybe guitar or something, oh, violin, for example, strings were broken or something. Immediately. Something like this. So what on earth is going on in here? I'm having a bad dream? Yeah, indeed bad dream. You're right. I know it's an old German folk song. Just a fine rendition, I think. I'll try to sit here and reload. It's a list of my concerns. Iris? Iris, what's the matter? Who's that sprawling? I mean, that relaxing gentleman over here. Can't even see him. Who is this? Iris, she even listening? Excuse me, sir. I apologize for troubling you with... You're singing so merrily, but... let's save into separate slot, like there. And now we're a lot, of course. And be right back in a minute. At the same time. Oh, wait a second, I forgot to exit. But I hope it will work. Oh, there's no music. But of course. Alright, be right back. Be right back. I hope it will be fixed. Alright, it will not be fixed, I just need to load some earlier save or something. So, continue. Yes. It's fixed. And he's dead. Well, I just translated to you, you didn't listen? So, the very easy translation, well, simple translation, he says, that he ordered the black beer, was drinking it, and it was like fire to his throat. Second, he ordered something like sausage, some food, but there was something like demon inside, and he broke his two tooths. And the last one, it was he ordered for some musical instrument, I didn't get which one, but something with strings, and the strings were immediately broken. Something like this. I'm not sure. So, I do apologize for troubling you whilst you singing so merrily, but would you be kind enough to explain that situation? How's it worked? A green gentleman and a mute young girl. A rather tantalizing juxtaposition. And one that appears to have incited the gods of deduction within me to find their voices too. Mr. Holmes, do you mean? The strings of reasoning within me are playing now as a delightful duet. One melody sings of a reunion full of nostalgia, whilst the other is a more them about the great secret you're trying to so desperately to conceal, Iris. I think you can simply Google for this song. He said that's all German one, so should exist in real life. She's thrown as white as a sheet. So as usual, you instantly sink to the very heart of the matter. And by the time my own brief performance is over, I'm sure this gentleman's song will reach its final. He keep repeating it. Just the Santa Claus. So then, to music land, where all is sweetness and delicacy and harmony. Pray to enjoy Sherlock Holmes' latest logic and reason spectacular again? And by the way, were there any other new games in Ace Attorney series after this one? I think yes, because this one was released in 2018? Definitely there was one. Insanity. Firstly, we consider the gentleman's nationality. Like he's a German with no grasp of the English language. Do I know him? As evidenced by the Germanic song he sings, and his apparent inability to understand when asked to desist. So why the man had all and in such apparently high spirits? The answer, of course, Iris, is clearly not to you. Don't tell me that Watson is alive. Indeed, we need to only follow the gaze of those bright young eyes to unravel that particular part of this mystery. I'm only thinking that one of them, Professor Watson, is alive. Maybe they both dead. The reason of the man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the herbal tea. You obviously offered our German guest a cup of your latest herbal blend. The tea's delectable flavor has made the man's spirit soar and resulted in this joyful ditty tumbling incessantly from his lips. It's definitely a record, because he's not singing. I eagerly await sampling the flavor myself, that I may join the fellow in this state of elation. Now to the next question. Who exactly is this gentleman availing himself so sorrowfully of the city? Is it happens a number of years ago now? Certain gentlemen of German origin engaged my services in some particular delicate case. Really? He's right. Requires the retrieval of letters, one sent to an acquaintance. So he's beginning that might have proven problematic. Having killed it was, as I remember. In order to conceal his noble identity, he also arrived at my office in a mosque. The gentleman's name was William Godsrich Sigismund von Ormstein, the King of Germany. Well, Germany in this case. Now, memory serves, the mask worn by this gentleman is identical. Yes, there can be no question that mask belongs to the King of Germany. It's Kazuma's mask, right? So if it's Kazuma's mask, it's Kazuma. It would appear that His Majesty remembers the fine service I have afforded him. He decided to show his face again, mask and all, in order to express his gratitude. But if actually I make a mistake during this deduction? A well-mannered monarch indeed. Wouldn't you agree, my dear fellow? So, the identity of this masked visitor is in fact my former client, the King of Germany. Indeed, his son is currently in London as well, enjoying the wonders of the Great Exhibition. Nice. Which leaves us with one remaining imponderable. Yes, you, young Iris. But your apparently inexplicable silence is unable to hide the truth. Yes, the reason for your mutterness is concealed inside that knapsack. A 5-pound note, I believe. Must say as you compatriots and deeply saddened. So it appears that you've allowed yourself to be bribed into silence by His Royal Highness, having yourself some spending money in exchange for keeping quiet about the king's secret. And now, the final piece of the puzzle. What is this secret you strive to hide with your silence, Iris? Oh yes, we need only follow that brief, involuntary twitch of your eyes to find the answer. You were attempting to abscond with a coffee cup. My favorite coffee cup, in fact. Just have it. Or should I say the handle of my favorite coffee cup? It appears that His High Spirits Highness broke it in the midst of his hijinks. Which leads us to the sad truth. My favorite coffee cup has been broken by the King of Germany, and Iris, you try to conceal it from me. Shall I have a bill sent via governmental channels to the German royal family for its replacement? This concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this painful puzzle. His behavior, by the way, totally is the same like in Gintama. I mean, the main character of Gintama. Gintaki was his name?
Mit dem Schwarzbiergebot, Boden wie
He's drunk.
Feuerberg. den Schluntes.
And what happened to the cup? Is your silence as well? The fellow's general whirling rather rings in the earth, does it not? Wait a second,
Knacker ich befahl,
it's Eugen Mikatoba?
wie ein Diamant
Because he looks like one.
den Zahn entzweie, es brach, o über deine Hut.
I can't see anybody else except him.
Menschheit holdlich gelobt
So you want to say that he's drunk?
und auf den ersten
Mr. Holmes, I must say something does rather trouble me. In this case, why she is silent? Pray me, do tell. His Royal Highness doesn't appear to have moved a muscle since we arrived. And you haven't said a word either, Aris. If Mr. Holmes has it all right, you might as well own up to it now. Your reasoning is entirely without substance, I must admit. And one other thing, Mr. Holmes. It another prevents Mr. Narcono, surely not. Well, I actually read the story of that case recently, the one you were just describing. And according to that, at least, it wasn't the King of Germany, it was the King of Bohemia. Of course, I was right. Goodness, was it? Yes, that's quite true. Master God, the Prince, testified to that in court. In his words, I have come to see the great exhibition all the way from my home Bohemia. I would ask you to keep that minor error to yourselves. It could easily become quite a scandal. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that it's our turn now to make some corrections to a number of minor errors that may have slipped in. Yes, even Mr. Holmes is willing to admit he might be slightly wide of the mark this time. Also, it's clear that Iris is definitely hiding something. Need to find out the truth behind this mysterious thing. But one truth is incontrovertible. My favorite coffee cup is no more. Was he trying to make a tea and make some poison? And now he's dead. So, shall we embark again on a joint presentation of Sherlock Holmes' logic and reasoning spectacular? I wonder. King of Germany. Nationality. German. Germanic song, it seems. Why is this Reagan repeats non-stop, by the way? Indeed, you only follow the gaze of those bright young eyes to unravel that particular part of this mystery. The reason for the man's madly irritating rumbling is herbal tea. So, it's supposed to be... So what? It's a mix of herbs that gives you the urge to sing. Goodness, I should like to try some. And like to hear you singing, but this man... Just how long does he intend to keep up with a tune, do you suppose? As I said, he's been stuck still the entire time, and if you look closely, his lips aren't moving either. So I'm not sure what's actually responsible for the spirited singing. But I suspect the answer lies at the end of Ari's gaze. Well, it's definitely this, but... Mask? What else can I check? Let me check the mask. We know this mask. You're right. So does it mean? Sure not. It couldn't be, could it? It's most definitely not him. No, of course it's not. Thank goodness. But then, why is this gentleman now wearing it? Right, once again, I really have no idea. Can I actually provide the mask? Oh, I can't even say it here. I had never tried to make any mistake in such deductions. So let's see if I use mask. Nothing will happen? Wait a second, I have only 5 tries! Why did I even try? Can't it's somebody else whose behavior became very strange indeed, whilst wearing this? Because this particular mask has some curious power to corrupt people's minds. Why didn't I try it before? It's exactly what happened to this gentleman. Then I would say this calls for demonstration, my dear fellow. What? Pray, put on the mask and show us what particular things it makes you do. You have us on the edge of our seats. Sorry, I'm far, far too shy. The song starts to get inside your head after time, doesn't it? But is he really singing it? You're right, and if you look closely, the man's mouth is open but his lips aren't moving at all. Gentleman couldn't be a waxwork, could he? One step at a time, Mr. Naruto. Let's identify the source of the singing first. So that was an insightful suggestions. Okay, there's nothing else to show. Only this gramophone. Wait, this? It's a gramophone, still really seen in our own country. It certainly appears to be coming from the horn. The machine singing, that can't be right. Science and technology are changing the world rapidly, Mr. Naruto. What's right is changing too. It's too much for my brain. Well, at least we have found our answer. The reason for the man's mildly irritating rumbling is revealed by the gramophone. But what if it's right? You put it on and something strange will happen. Indeed, for no way red gentleman would break into an obscure folk song when making a social call. In other words, this gentleman isn't singing at all. In fact, it would appear that the fellow is unconscious. The music seems to have stopped now. Ask him, Mr. Naruto. Yes? Why would I have purchased a recording of that gibberish? How should I know? Well, never mind all this, the deduction. Who exactly is the gentleman availing himself so thoroughly of the city? As it happens, okay, I remember this one. Generation. You cannot skip it. William Lostrick Sigismund von Arnstein. The King of Germany. And he says that if my memory serves, the mask worn by the gentleman is identical. Is it really the truth? There can be no question, the mask belongs to the King of Germany. Also, we already established that it was actually the King of Bohemia, since Mr. Holmes intends to persist with his German theory for some reason. Come to think of it, the young prince was wearing a mask as well, wasn't he? Mr. Gotts, the boy whom you had in tears? Don't remind me or anyone else. Do you suppose all members of the aristocracy of mainland Europe wear masks? Should they do? Well, probably. Anyway, the point is that mask doesn't belong to any king. No, that's right, as we well know, because we can identify the true owner of this mask. Wait a second. The true owner is Kazuma. advise him. There can't be anybody else, isn't it? Alright. Yes, there can be no question that mask belongs to Asagi Kazuma. In other words, my memory is somewhat unreliable. Only you could try to make that sound positive. Kazuma's mask has been languished on this metal chest for several days. Wait a second, the chest is open, by the way. So that doesn't explain why the gentleman is wearing it now. But it is now a simple matter to determine our guest's true identity. After all, the gentleman is unconscious. We need only excuse ourselves and Edwards gently lift the mask and peer beneath it. I don't believe it. Father? I'm afraid, Miss Susato, you must be... No, I think not, Mr. Holmes. Must be Miss De... Then at what appeared, our logic and reasoning has once again revealed the truth. This mysterious visitor is my unconscious father, Eugene Mikatoba. Mikatoba Eugene. A logic and reasoning? Or just looking insane? Miss Vodka. Each leaves us with one remaining imponderable. Yes, you, young Iris. But you brought the inexplicable silence. Is unable to hide the truth. As a reason for your boldness is concealed inside that knapsack. Really, who's holding money like this? So that's £5 note poking out from Iris' knapsack, is it? There can't be sure most money between countries in coin form. I know, I am not even sure if we have seen any banknotes here in Britain at all, have you? But anyway, first I would never have paid money for Iris' silence. It certainly seems like the silent time himself though, judging by his present state. Must be some other reason for Iris' silence, I suppose. Perhaps what Iris is trying so hard not to give away with your eyes is something entirely different. And what do we have? Well, I see this metal chest. Is there anything else at all? Except it. Wait a second. Persian slipper? This slipper features in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, doesn't it? It does when I first saw it. There, on the mantelpiece, I were near fainted with excitement. Doesn't Iris keep your 11 cents in there? Yes, that part was never mentioned in the stories. Could swap it for the Japanese equivalent of a slipper for fun. In other words, for a wooden Geta sandal that I actually wearing at home. But then it wouldn't be possible to hide anything inside. Which matters because... Because? Let's see. Obviously, the real reason for Iris' silence now is given away by this Persian slipper. The truth is, even though it's a famous item from one of your most famous mysteries, Mr. Holmes, Iris hasn't been treating it with the respect it deserves. She's secretly been hiding chocolates inside it. And I've secretly been eating them. A symbol is that I thank you not to disturb Meister Naruhodo. Have I ended up being the person at fault here? If Iris, it is reason to talk, it's surely because she's trying to hide something. So all this must be related to some secret she has. But certainly don't wish to force her into revealing something she'd rather keep to herself. But that might mean if Father never opens his eyes again. Don't you think that might be a little melodramatic? So really? The chest? This metal chest contains important documents, doesn't it? Yes, details of all the cases Mr. Holmes was working on over the years. We can't wait for their part. Written up by Iris' father, if I'm remembering correctly. So it's also slightly open. Iris insists that the chest is kept locked at all times. She's never once shown me inside. Those contents are invaluable to her, I suppose, and entirely irreplaceable. But look at it now. The cage is unlocked for once. So it is. That's hard to ignore. Wait. Not seen the chest unlocked before in all the time you've been staying here at Baker Street. Yes, the reason for your maintenance is concealed inside that metal chest. An excellent observation for up-and-close inspection says something different about the chest's appearance. It's kept locked at all times, yet now the cage is open. Evidently, this has something to do with your refusal to speak, Iris. But it's simple enough matter to incite you to speak, I'm sure. Marley needs to open this chest. Here we go. No. Homeschool don't? What is this? Was a booby trap. For some reason I thought that Mikado just drinks some alcohol. That's why he's wearing all of this. Even a mask. And sleeping. And that's Steve. But this, I didn't expect this. Never. Homeschool, I told you not to open it. So you found your voice now, Iris. And the words. What just happened clearly reveals the truth here. Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is... It is somewhat different to the usual dance of deduction you perform with Mr. Holmes, isn't it? Well, he's left me alone on the ballroom floor, so I'm going to have to dance this next part solo. And anyway, I need to get to the bottom of this. What will happen if I fail several times? And there will be none. I cannot be found guilty, isn't it? Hello, Prime Melon. Now then, Iris isn't usually the silent type, so I mean you don't actually know the answer yet, despite that knowing point of the finger before. It's Susato. Sometimes a man needs to point his finger first and think later. Well, if you say so. No, seriously, let me save and actually try to fail it, if it's possible still. Because what will happen? I have no idea. So we better examine Iris more closely and try to rescue the situation then. If it's possible to select something, I maybe already failed. Let's see. Looks like I cannot check anything except this key. Oh wait a second, I can check the knapsack. But anything else? Wonderful. Very wonderful both. Okay, let's try this knapsack first. For some reason, this knapsack is really standing out as suspicious to me today. How is it? It's quite sizable enough for a sizable secret, that's what I say. I haven't this, but we certainly can open it up to look inside without Iris' permission. No, you're right. Who knows what might pop out and punch us? Clearly, the reason you've said nothing all this time, Iris, is something to do with what's in your knapsack. It's a sizable bug for a sizable secret. My dear fellow, you would appear to be rather caught up in that idea. So what are you? Well, you've been left alone on the dance floor, as you say, so I'm trying to fill Mr. Holmes' shoes. Well, it's very refreshing. But of course, nearly forgot. Don't need to imitate every move, you know? So if I fail 2 more times, what will happen? How wonderful to hear Iris' voice again. It's just a shame it took Mr. Holmes being thrown across the room to make it happen. Oh, by the way, I still can't save here. This gave me an idea. If we threw you across the room as well, she might talk some more. It's made a sudden movement just before we spoke that's playing on my mind. So better have another good look around. Let's try not to be too rude by staring at her. Yes, do try to be sensitive, Mr. Naruhodo. Actually, it would be very interesting if they actually added tons of things that you can show, not just this game. But there's nothing else. Except I can check all the room from different angle. No. Well... Scared? Wait a second, I can use scared. Iris always dressed in these Riley clothes, doesn't she? Always thought this skirt is rather delightful. It's pretty sizable, with all those frills. Sizable, enough for a sizable secret again. Seems to be rather fond of that idea. But you said I can't go investigating further. This look like that's what I was thinking. Clearly, the reason you've said nothing all this time, Iris, is because you're hiding something in your really skirt. And what sizable frills say are for a sizable secret. Typical answer of yours, my dear fellow, being wide of the mark by a sizable marker. So what are you? Alright, this already hurt. Okay, we have one last try. And still I can save. Wonderful to hear Iris' voice again. Just a shame it took Mr. Holmes being thrown across the room to make it happen. That gives me an idea. Okay. So what will happen? Let's see. Detection failed? I can see nothing? There's only a retry button, nothing else. I need to load, not to retry. So options, load. This one. Well, definitely it's key. That's a key she's holding, look. I'm sure that wasn't in her hands before, was it? No, you're quite right. It appeared, as if by magic. That's strange, a big, old iron key. Where did it materialize from? Doesn't look like iron, some kind of brass. Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is that key behind your back. When Mr. Holmes was thrown into the air before, just before you called out to try to stop him, you slipped something out of your mouth. Didn't even notice it. They show it. And something is the key now in your hands. No doubt the key to the chest. You're so clever, Uno. So now it becomes clear. Thanks to Mr. Holmes' graphic demonstration, you can well imagine what happened here. What? Professor Mikatoba also opens that metal chest only to be punched into the air and land sprouts on the ceiling. But wait, that doesn't explain all the facts. What about the stylish scarf and the cup of tea, and above all, why would he be wearing Kazuma-sama's mask? Well, for those curious details, I can think of only one explanation. Clearly, an unbelievable miracle took place in this room. Isn't that right, Iris? Consider how the room was arranged before this whole painful experience took place. When Professor Mikatoba opened the chest, completely unaware of what awaited him inside. The mask was flung in the air just as he was, only to land neatly on his face and fell back down. And the teacup journey through the air ended when it caught on the unconscious professor's finger. You mean to say that the stylish scarf is actually just a tablecloth? This is the great detective's office, after all, a place of miraculous deductions. Would you expect anything less? Yes, you're right. It happened exactly as you said. Brilliant, Bruno. This concludes Ryusuke Naruhodo's great deduction of this punchy puzzle. So then, why don't I make a fresh pot of tea for us all? An admirable performance, Mr. Naruhodo. But in the final act of the show there, you rather missed everything of importance. What's going on here, Mr. Holmes? You would cast your mind back to my earlier deduction. Harris, clearly you're hiding a great secret. She is? From the look on her face. Mr. Holmes must be right. Tell us the great secret is the cat isn't out of the bag yet. I still can fail it? Why I made so many mistakes just to check what will happen? So I put it to you again. You were attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. There is a shame about Mr. Holmes' cup. Must have been smashed when Professor Mikatoba opened the chest. There are so many things seems to have been broken here. Why he didn't remove all the items from the chest before it? But now that the deduction has taken a different direction, Iris doesn't seem to be trying to hide the broken cup anymore. In other words, the great secret is something else. Let's put our observation skills to work here one final time though. Now wait a second. So it's knapsack? What else can I check? Nothing outside, as I can see. It's only about you. Sadly. Surely this time, at last, the knapsack is going to be the answer. I'm not sure why you're so intent on showing Aris' bug to be complicit in this event. Because it's a sizable bug. Big enough to carry things around, Mr. Narhodo. That's what bugs are for. Sizable bug for a sizable secret. So, the knapsack might never see the limelight, you mean? I wouldn't like to say. Wait a second, keys file! Look, there seems to be more papers there. Is Aris trying to hide them underneath the tree? The insignia, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an official Scotland Yard document. What? But why would Aris have? I must ask you. An official Scotland Yard document? That's it? You were attempting. Top score is that case file. Iris, as you know very well, doesn't escape the attention of a great detective. Visited Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory early today, and Dr. Goring informed us that the autopsy report of Kuluk01's had gone missing. Kuluk01's? Yes, I do seem to recall. Some years ago asked to see the report in question. You were with me, weren't you, Aris? You mean it was you, Aris? So those papers you have there are... I'm sorry. You... I'm still at episode number 4, by the way. In truth, I would like to have thought of have predicted the booby-trapped chest. But it caught me completely off guard. I was waiting earlier on the late consultant detective, Sherlock Holmes. Sorry, Holmes. So you mean this autopsy report really is? Yes, I took it from the lab, even though I knew it was very important. Was there something in it that troubled you, Aris? Not exactly something that troubled me. Wait a second. If the killer was at very high ranks, why he didn't destroy all these records? Or stole it themselves? Something I'd been looking for. When I saw this report, I saw the writing in it. Oh, what's the report? I knew it was Dennis. The writing? Your father's writing? What do you really mean? Iris? It must be something that's hard for her to talk about. Keep me from interrupting, my dear fellows. Mr. Holmes, what is it? I feel as though the poor unconscious gentleman of this city has been somewhat forgotten. What? Perhaps we should find our guest somewhere more peaceful to rest. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? Would you be so kind as to lend him your bed? We must do our best to make him comfortable, I feel. No, yes, of course, I'll help you carry him up. So will I. No, I can manage alone, thank you. You have tea to enjoy. we wouldn't want Iris Brew to stew. Because there's no better way to make the professor comfortable than dragging him upstairs, like a trunk. Wonderful. I wonder, perhaps that was deliberate. Maybe Mr. Holmes is making himself scarce to give Iris a chance to talk more freely. Must use this opportunity to talk with Iris and find out what's going on. I finally get this report. When I saw the writing on the report, I could hardly believe it. I know that handwriting, I thought to myself, because it was the same as the writing you'd seen on your father's case notes? Exactly. I was desperate to compare the two properly. I needed to see them side by side. I asked the doctor in the laboratory, but was told I couldn't take the report away. And even worse, I was told that it was the first and last time we'd be allowed even to look at it there. So you decided to steal it. When I compared the autopsy report with the case notes I had here, there was no doubt. The handwriting was exactly the same, it was Daddy's. And the signature of the coroner at the bottom of the autopsy report reads Dr. John H. Watson. So that's how I finally found out. I learned Daddy's name at last. I see. Ever since then, I've called myself Iris Watson. And that's also when I had the brilliant idea of writing stories all about Daddy's exciting times with homeschool. I decided there and then that I'd write The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. For Iris, I had no idea that stories had quite such a deep personal significance for you. I see why the autopsy report was so important to her now, and why she was prepared to break the law to get your hands on it. Come on, children at 8 age old, not thinking about the law. 10 years. Would you like to tell us about it, Iris? About your father? I'm sure I told you before, didn't I? That Daddy used to be a homeschool partner. Yes, and that notes about all the cases they sold together and kept inside that metal chest. That's right, homeschool told me, you see. He said that Daddy's somewhere far away now, so we can't meet. It's one way of describing it. Then, when I secretly unlocked the chest and read through the papers inside, I started to build up a picture in my head of what Daddy must be like. Well, it's only natural. Just like any other girl of your age. I read that Daddy was a professor of medical science, so I studied and took my degree too. Well, that's only natural, I suppose. In that respect, you're not quite like any other girl of your age, so... But there was one thing that I could never find out. Daddy's name. His name wasn't anywhere on any of the notes that he'd made about his work with homeschool. But then one day, that's what happened, is it? When you saw this autopsy report, you finally managed to work it out, is it right? Yes? So it was the handwriting in the report that caught your eye. I must apologize, Iris. This is really all my fault. Homeschool? I made a promise, you see, that until the time was right, I'd keep the details about your father a secret. I know, I've been waiting not to. I'll take the autopsy report back to Dr. Gloria and apologize, I promise. Yes, we'll go together, I think. Then, let me look after it for you until we get here there. Okay, finally I'll be able to read it. What? Must go and... What are my Arabs, I think? See you later. Poor Iris, she must be feeling awful. I know Mr. Holmes is here for her, but still. What? How? What's the meaning of this, Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Oh, dear me. So, you've noticed, I see. What did you notice? Kuluk01's male, age 33, British. 31st May between 9 PM and midnight. 20 hours. Duration death from a single stab, wound to the heart. Ah, so they thought it was a sword. And the superficial external ones, indicative of a duel. Recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little. So... he could actually kill him, but only him, not anyone else. Recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring feathers. Scarlet ink? What? On the right hand, but no document in corresponding ink was found. And so what, little and ring fingers? What's so important? Vital evidence recovered from the victim's stomach during autopsy credited to Inspector Gregson for petitioning so virtually for the autopsy procedure. No internal trauma noted anywhere in the body? Victim's stomach? Okay. But that would mean... What on earth? The matter, Miss Sosato? It turned as white as a sheet. It's this autopsy report, Mr. Naruhodo. The one from 10 years ago. The writer isn't Dr. Watson at all. Huh? What do you mean? How could you possibly know that? Because I know this writing very well. This writing is my father's. What? Professor Mikatoba? What? Indeed, it's true. And now you know, my dear fellows. Don't know anything. What on earth does it all of this mean, Mr. Holmes? Because the idea that's slowly forming in my mind, that's just too extraordinary to believe. Yes, you have to explain. There'll be no explanation? Thinking about it, most of what we know about you, Mr. Holmes, comes from the published stories of your exploits. Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, written by Iris. And we really have no way of knowing what's fact and what's fiction. It was troubling for you, my dear fellow, I'm sure. So what about this supposed partner of yours? Did he really exist? Or not? Oh, you come straight to the point, I see. And please come straight to the answer. I believe Iris explained it in one of your installments. He was a trusted comrade and the only person I could truly have called a friend. And did this partner of yours truly make a record of all your cases? Are his notes really stored inside that metal chest? Absolutely, my dear madam. Absolutely. So, is your partner now? You really meet? You see, he lives on the other side of the world. But if these autopsy reports and the records of all your old cases were paired by the same hand, and if the autopsy report was written, though not signed by your famous partner, there would be only one logical conclusion. Pray, impress me. Your partner would have to be Mikatoba Yujin. In other words, Susato's father. Oh my word, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? You're coming along wonderfully. You have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction. You mean to say? So what about Watson in this case? Allow me to introduce you to my great friend and partner, Mikatoba. Professor Mikatoba? It's very unexpected. Does this mean that you're the real Dr. Watson? No, my dear, I'm still my old self, Eugene Mikatoba, your father. Of course. This is obviously too much for Susato-san to take in. I must say no. For my old friend has attained worldwide celebrity as a great mystery solver is the greatest mystery of all. Still remember the first time we met? Hey, remind me. When was it again, Mikatoba? Wait a second. What is the Holmes' age? So he was 24 years old this time. And you 33. Oh, 16 years ago. Oh my god. 16. By the time of the events, he was 24. Oh yes, quite. 16 years ago. I just arrived from Japan with Seichiro and Genshin. Okay, and how old was Mikatoba at this time? Okay. This is 7, right? Was in search of lodgings close to the hospital, some comfortable rooms at a reasonable price. But rents are devilishly high in that particular area. That's right, so decided I needed someone to share lodgings. And the expense, wait a second. Hospital. Isn't it close to prison, cemetery and other stuff? And was fortunate enough to be introduced to Holmes, who found himself in a similar situation. Was a hollow fellow back then, a mere shadow of the great detective you see before you now. Was working at the hospital's chemical laboratory at the time, indulging my curiosities for little gain. The situation of our cohabitation led to us pursuing cases together, you see? Hard to believe, for some mere 6 years, had a great many adventures. But in the last year of Mikatoba's stay in Britain, that most infamous of cases presented itself. The case with which you become rather familiar yourself, the Professor killings. After the trial, Seichiro and I were summoned back home. Hardly surprising given the circumstances. So there you have it, and as you know, all the details recorded by my trusty chronicler remain in that metal chest. It's just amazing. Professor Mikatoba really is Mr. Holmes' famous partner. And he was in a leading role, maybe? Father? Goodness, my dear, what a cutting look. As your daughter, I'm very proud to learn that you were the great detective's great partner. But nevertheless, there's another mystery that I really must ask you to explain now. And that is? You know very well what it is. The unresolved matter of Ari's father. Of course, Almost forgotten about that one. So you're thinking that it's his daughter now? I should have seen this coming, I suppose. Iris told us that all the notes about the great detective's adventures that are in the metal chest were written by her father. Isn't that correct, Mr. Holmes? That is indeed what I told you, Iris. Don't tell me that Watson actually the killer. But if you're Mr. Holmes' father, and you wrote all those case notes, then Iris' father must be you. Oh my word, Miss Susato. You are coming along wonderfully as well. You two have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction. What you always told me, father, is that my mother died when I was born 16 years ago, and you left me in grandmother's care whilst you embarked on your study tour of Britain. You've always accepted that, but all this about Iris. So it is to your son's ice cold stare. No, hold on a minute. It was very complicated. I mean, it's really not what you think. Perhaps you'd like to explain exactly what it is. That is, now the ice go from ice cold to red hot. Just before she... Really, you put the wrong end of the stick. Holmes, say something, man. Okay. So, this autopsy report, and they continue casually talking about the reports, was actually penned by Professor Mikatoba-san? And that makes no sense. It's not possible, surely? Not possible? My dear fellow, pray, take a deep breath and sink in. Yes, you're right. In some ways. It actually makes a great deal of sense. It does? 10 years ago is when Father returned to Japan after his extended study tour in Britain. And prior to his return, where was Dr. Mikatoba engaged? Of course, he was an assistant of in Dr. Watson's laboratory, learning about forensic science. And as an assistant, would have aided with the dissection work, making detailed notes. She would be assembled into the full autopsy report. Once the work was complete, the head coroner would check the contents and put his signature on the document. In other words, the only writing of Dr. Watson's in the report would be his signature then. I see. So Iris got the wrong end of the stick, you mean? She saw that and assumed the whole report had been written by Dr. John H. Watson. Which is very understandable, of course. What a complicated situation. That's quite enough. My fairy fellows. Mr. Holmes, when did he get all dressed up? Is he all dressed up? Of course not. Whilst I don't like to interrupt this exciting exploration of the past. Mikatoba and I have an urgent matter that requires a short excursion. It's very late, Mr. Holmes. Where must you go? Why, my dear madam? Is it not obvious? My partner and I must pursue our natural enemies. So, got your coat, Mikatoba? The game is afoot. But Holmes, I really must give Susudo a full explanation, I think. Later, my dear fellow, later. Our carriage awaits downstairs already. Haven't changed one iota, have you? I mean, really, I visit our home after 10 years, long years. And when I open the chest in a fit of nostalgia, I inexplicably pass out. And as if that wasn't enough. When she regained consciousness, I'm plunged straight into all this. Father, please, go with Mr. House now. What? I have no doubt that whatever happens, you were acting in everyone's best interest. I trust you. Completely. Susato. And Sen and the Great Detective and his great partner often renewed adventures together. It's more than I could have hoped for in my wildest dreams. Very well then, we'll speak again later. So, I believe your all work is done for the day. I wish you the best of luck for tomorrow. Yes, Naruto, good luck in battle. And in reaching a decision. Decision? Oh yeah. Going back to Japan. About whether I have to go back to Japan, I suppose.
今日はあまりにもいろいろなことが起こりすぎた。
So finally it's ended.
しかし後になって僕たちは知ることになる。その混乱の中にこそ全ての真実を知るために必要な手がかりがあったのだと。そして僕自身が覚悟を決めるためにもそれは必要なことだったのかもしれない。
And thank you for choosing. So, I definitely have like maybe 2 hours. Let's continue. Indeed. The last case. Final chapter on the resolve of Ryusuke Naruhodo. Why it's actually allowing you to play them out of order? Not quite sure. Oh, it's new remix of this post. So the time has finally come. Today, we unravel everything. I'll be counting on your support more than ever today, Miss Susato. Miss Susato? What just happened? What's the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Nothing, I was just saying that I'll be relying on your support today, but... So sorry, of course, I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but... I shan't let you down. Would you mind help me to my feet then? But I'm really very sorry. Suto-san isn't your usual self at all, but that's hardly surprising, I suppose. She's just found out that your father is the partner of a world-famous detective, not to mention... Monitor. Lord 16. Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. Did I hear that correctly? What? No, nothing, just... I hope we can clear things up today. Hello, Zeddy. I can't make this man out. His face says, I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday. 1.6 isn't the Reaper, Mr. Naruhodo. Good point. The Reaper? I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. It was my delicate acceptance of that pseudonym. A failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led to all this. You're not to blame for that, Lord 16. It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason. Because serious crime? Okay. What do you mean? It was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. That having been slain by the evil killer, Clint's restless spirit returned as some sort of demigod to wield a deadly blade of justice where I, guardian of the law, could not. Yes, we heard that story too. When I lost him, I felt as so I'd lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, some small way, I wondered if perhaps some rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. Even if I knew it was just an illusion, just some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public, it was obviously extremely important to you. Kuluk01's. Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know that you didn't take anyone's life, and I intend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt in court today. I never thought I'd say this, but I can see it in your eyes, that burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. Can't deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. Now tell me, why do you detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Oh, Aris, when did you get here? I brought you one of my special blends. Houseclown loves it. He says it helps him to clear his head. Thank you. That's surely the first and last time I've ever seen a sight like this. You seem different today, Aris. Sort of subdued, I suppose. I'm not. What happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Shizu's laboratory. Alright, son. Good luck to you, boss. Have to make a move now. You're not staying? I thought you want to watch today's proceedings. Well, I'd like to cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready. Get ready? For what? Oh yes. Would you take this? Isn't that one of the little feltons that are usually dangling from your knapsack? Would you be the evidence? In the court? Yes, it's like a charm, a little horsecomb that I made once. A horsecomb? It's more like a... I don't know what was in Japanese, but it's hurley to me. Oh, because it's... wait a second. Usagi-kun, maybe. It's for some reason you completely ran out of options in the trial today. Then, just pull this little houseclown earth as hard as you possibly can. What I should do? For some reason completely ran out of options in the trial today. So there's some kind of evidence inside? Pulled his earth? Ran out of options. That's right, it's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it. What is inside of you? You think what we'll need is luck? Oh, it is. What a charming little rabbity version of Mr. Holmes. I suppose this is how Aris sees him? Are you right, Mr. Naruhodo? Your eyes are rather boring into the Bird's ears. Oh, sorry, I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now? I'm sure that you'll find out when the time is right. To become a proper gentleman, you really must learn stoic patience. But I want to know. I can't even imagine what will be inside. I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom, and it seems very different from normal. Yes, it would seem. The certain someone has decided to pull out all the stops. What does it mean? What about Mr. Holmes, Cyrus? I don't know. He was out all night and he hadn't come home by the time I left this morning. I see. Was Professor Mikotoba out all night too, do you think, Miss Susadol? Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. Apparently they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all. They? Father and Judge Jigoko, I mean. Judge Jigoko, too? That's right, nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court is about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once. Good luck, Sandrona. Good luck, Susan. Yes, thank you, Iris. Thanks. And you, Mr. Ripper, I hope it goes well. Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing. Oh, I'm so glad. I must go inside now, Dorman 6. Dorman 6 has always been the formidable prosecutor. I had to lock horns with in court. But not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend Kazuma Asagi, who I trust more than anyone else in the world. I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. It feels even more oppressive here than it did yesterday. The cold stairs piercing me like knives from all sides today. Mr. Hello, look! Lord Strongheart. Now it explains simply everything. He's judge now. As I must have known beforehand. The verification of this trial now extends far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundations of our country's legal system. Escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of the man, and the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit with the jailbreak. It is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all around the world. I cannot explain only one why so-called professor was not executed and killed only later, and why he was in the mask. No explanation at all. Everything else I can explain. It's imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. By our decree, this will continue to be a closed trial. And one over which I, Mel Strongheart, exercise total and equivocal authority, univocal. What the fuck? The six-shooter's flames just? As a case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary, assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. In other words, a collection of your accolades, Lord Strongheart. On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord 16. You were a prosecutor of exceptional talent, much like your brother Clint, in fact. So why Clint was killed? Is it a horse? In the name of Your Majesty the Queen, hereby declares this court to be in session. Was the trial of Kuluk01's, who officially stands accused of murder. Counsels for the prosecution and defense. Are you in full readiness to proceed? The defense is ready, my lord. As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. And in those clandestine operations he had an accomplice. Mr. Everyday Middlemon, who would be given the inspector's identification, and present himself around the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appeared to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work, when in fact he wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Middlemon, who had been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear he burned his memories of the time deep inside himself as a means of self-preservation. Because whilst he was engaged as a chief warder at Berkeley Prison, he abetted the convict's escape. Mr. Middlemon is currently recuperating at St. Sinners. He is recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He is formally admitted to posing as Gregson whilst investigating the Red-Headed League. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch had not been wound. Okay, maybe it's not a critical mistake of the criminal, but actually a thing to report the case. And thank you, Venom. See you tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow I will finish this game, that's for sure. But maybe not. It depends on another streamer, because I'm supposed to be on his stream, so he'll be streaming today and tomorrow. Maybe I need 2 more streams to finish this game, who knows. Anyway, thank you for stopping by, see you. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord. Oh, really? Go ahead, prosecutor, ask again. I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. She confirmed that the defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on 31st October, the day before his body was discovered. I have heard an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details. But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday. That the time of death was 5 PM on 1st November. The indication of an attempt to disguise the real time of this, however. It seems that the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. It's out of the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse. My lord, it's more than just conjecture. There is evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly. Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, it could give renewed significance to the movements of the victim on the day before the Fresno Street incident. It would, yes, especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Mittermore to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. Do you sense that the prosecution has some information regarding those activities? Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating that precise matter yesterday. I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work. So the prosecution calls its first witness now. Gina? Indeed. State your name and exhibition for the court. Inspector General Lestrade reporting, representative of Scotland Yard. What is gonna Inspector, it's like lieutenant of police. Isn't it? It is, it's very high rank. Detective might be. Self-conferred rank, but no mind. Oh, I was right. Gina, a king? What's your problem, Otto? What's with that Gina again? Look, huh? The boss meant the world to me. He done more for me than anyone else ever did. Oh, Inspector Gregson, you mean? Got me out of the back sloughs of the East End and took me under his wing. Taught me that life can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here speaking of him. Gina. Right. All out of the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not at all that he had his arm twisted by Mr. Holmes, no. What's relevant to this proceeding is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Very troubling. That face. Lord Stroker knew. By the way, I say it for the first time when I was playing the first game. In the very beginning of the third episode, that he looks very evil. He might be the next culprit in the case. So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in the report. Coming right up, sir. Victims' movements. All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they told. But a little search of the boss office turned up a notebook that had a lot of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking to some smuggled goods dealing that day. It's like it was a big shop and all, but the coppers went onto it yet. What matters most is there's witnesses, but some the Reaper at the place too. Just 4 statements? Smuggled goods? I don't know, Daniel. I am just telling what was written in the book. Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines, goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. Illegal channels. What's illegal to sell whatever you want? If it was illegal drugs or something, but this... I mean drugs, narcotics and other stuff. Especially spices. Illegal. What? It's like government monopoly or what? will know that they dispose of the regular black markets that take place in the capital. Everyone should have a right to sell whatever they want, whenever they want, from any place they want. It should be mandatory. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets. It is suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of his investigation being leaked to the involved parties. What is wrong here is that high-ranking government officials forbid everyone to do this and doing it themselves. This is a crime, yes. It would explain why he was operating on his own authority without the yard's knowledge. And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time? In a particular room of certain exclusive London gentlemen's club. And on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter. It can't be. I haven't heard anything about any of this. Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question, the accused, Kuluk01's, was present. It would be a very significant testimony then. Why? But Kuluk01's has made no mention of this at all. In short, Kuluk01's had ample opportunity to murder the victim. What is sound? Very well then, counsel for the defense, begin your cross-examination. Okay, follow orders. No, there's 5 statements. Commander said the boss was looking for some smuggled goods. And here I think I'll take a pause. Yes, and as usual, I'll start from the person in the middle, because this looks kinda wrong. Anyway, let me save and be right back. In a minute. Hold on. Maybe I even create some tea, because he is coffee right now. Tea is better. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Now tea instead of coffee. 1 second. Let me check. Okay, 9 o'clock right now. And let's continue. So, at least 1 hour I have, maybe more. Definitely it's not enough to finish it. Just the beginning. So, do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place? Yep, it was all there in the boss notes. Can I get these notes actually? Let's see if I can remember. As I already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at a gentleman's club. Yes, I remember, but I was hoping to find out the name of the club. It won't be necessary. What? It's conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name in these proceedings. Is it important to know the name? Oh, what all the fuse is about? It's right here. All I have gotta do is read it out. And I could too. I've got this reading game buttons up now. Can I show you what I can do? Go on. What's the harm? Package from FedEx. Expected. I don't know why. The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I'm trying to find out what should I do. You insist? This is closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked. As explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. Prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. Kazuma? There's no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into this black market stealing, however. It's not yet been established that he was on that particular trial. Answer the question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive. Right then, I get to show off my reading skills. Apparently the smuggler goods deal was gonna happen at a gentleman's club called The Growth. And so what about this? The Growth? What sort of club is that? I'm good focus. Clubs aren't exactly my thing, but I'm kind of curious. Places where foreign students like you would be readily admitted. Have you looked in the mirror recently? I tell you what, me and Chief Inspector Toby could go in undercover. Could you, though? Could pick out a few good marks and tell you what else I could find out while I was in there. I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where this black market dealings were going to take place, is it? Yeah, it's gotta be. That's what the lower-ranking detectives at the yard reckon. Says the even lower-ranking detective. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the cops went on to it yet. Wait a second, what is the change in the cruise? Do we have anything about it? Wait a second, what? I already read it, all of this. I definitely... in the previous episode, should I check all my aliens one more time? I'm right in thinking that these scales are symbol of the defense in law, aren't they? Supposed to symbolize written, everything equally and fair. That's why they're always in the middle, balanced. Equal measures on both sides. Recently though, whenever I see a set of scales, only think of the normal scales of justice. It's entirely understandable. They are such a powerful symbol in the cartoon, aren't they? And the thing about the scales of justice is they're always leaning on one way or the other. They're only ever in balance right at the start. Must be something peculiar to the British. I'm afraid I can't shed any light on it, Mr. Narcono. It's very fine embroidery here that shows the name of the armband's owner. In this case, Kazuma Asagi. So I always carry my best friend's hopes and dreams with me on my right arm just here, all the time. To be honest, it's something that weighs very heavy on me. Didn't realize it was such a burden, Mr. Narhodo. Yes, I think it's why my right shoulder aches so much. Are you sure that's not to do with your reading in battle, like? I can only read in the goal, by the way. I can simply sit whenever I read. Alright. Here, there's nothing to check. Same as this photo. But why is this okay. Professor Mikotova has wonderful handwriting, doesn't he? This strikes you that young man is not the least bit untrustworthy. Is it just me, or does it make me sound extremely untrustworthy? Definitely there was such dialogue about it, but why it's unmarked? Because a new episode. I do wish he had at least called you a nice young man. I'm not sure that would help. Looks like this is some kind of steamship ticket. Birdland. Oh, SS Gross. That's where I heard it. What's class cabin 001? Yokohama departure 11th September, going arrival 1st November. It's important that Professor Mikotova and Judge Jogoko came on from Japan, isn't it? Yes, I think it's called at Dunkirk on the north coast of France for a night before funny ride in Dover. Seriously, I remember all of this. This is moving, ticket, etc. Okay, definitely need to show this, but what about other villains? It's definitely like another bug. You see nothing wrong, but why it's all unmarked? Or maybe I don't need it. It's unmarked, so I anyway can show it if I need it. Actually, why not? Why not? I think everything should be already updated, that I have a part of some blades, for example, in this trunk, right? Let's see. It's my trunk. No? Why? If it's not updated, it means I cannot provide it as evidence when I will need it. Let's see. Or maybe there was no update at all. But anyway, why can't I skip all of this? Because there was fragment of metal. No, no update. Okay, no anymore. If I stack at some point, I'll definitely check all of this, because it takes a lot of time. Okay, Bruce, present, this. I've read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, they are places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted. Is your mirror cracked or something? You know for sure, the contraband dealings were definitely happened at a club called The Groove. Police are currently looking for evidence, but haven't found anything definitive yet. And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't what I mean by that? I mean that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on 31st October may not have been a gentleman's club at all, because he traveled in France, shown a very irreverent attitude towards our country's police force, their counsel. It wasn't a gentleman's club, then what was it? A steamship. You think it's a ship? I have the evidence to prove it here. Already, bring out the case by evidence. Let me see that and destroy. This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. The other side, my lord. Be more specific next time. Ah, this would appear to be a ticket for passage upon a steamship, yes. The SS Growth. Oh, Growth. So there's a steamship named the Growth, or some other name, that happens to share a name with the club. But I'm afraid to say, there's a flaw in your logic there. How? Look at the ticket. Notice the date of arriving in port. Ship arrived at the port of Dover on 1st November. Ah! The day on which the sound like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words, on the day in question here, 31st October, when the victim was on his clandestine mission, the ship hadn't yet docked on British shores. Would suddenly make an undercover investigation somewhat challenging. The fact that the steamship hadn't yet reached Britain substantiates the defense's assertion that the victim was investigating the SS Growth on the day in question. Then show you evidence for that assertion? Very well. In that case, counsel for the defense, present your evidence to the court now. Evidence that substantiates against this word your claim that the victim was investigating the SS Growth on the 31st October. This one. What is a passport for travel issued to the victim? Dated 31st October? What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that just one day before the inspector's body was discovered, there's a distinct possibility he wasn't even in the country. Order. This document is for passage to France. It does appear to have been officially authorized. The day before the SS Growth arrived at Dover, it docked on the northern coast of France for a night. According to my father, who was on board at the port of Dunkirk. Dunkirk? France? What could possibly have taken the victim there? I'm impressed, Ryonsky Naruhodo. Suddenly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport. What? You mean you knew about it? The prosecution's strategy for this trial has been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. That's the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations and the line the prosecution has been asked to follow. But personally, I don't agree. Seeing the prosecutor's office is trying to hide something. What? And now that you've expertly disproven their assertion, I intend to reveal what I believe that something to be. What are you playing at, Prosecutor Asuya? A courtroom is a forum for the truth, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all the facts without exception. Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it? The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way to the steamship dockyard in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper. The Reaper? Very strange. On the order, what on earth are you saying, Conson? Execution made an assertion in court yesterday. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand. But in reality, the truth is the opposite of that. What? Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was, in fact, acting for the Reaper. So you're saying the mission he was undertaking was, obviously, an assassination. Kuluk01's never carried out any of the actual killings. Whenever the Richter's victims lost their lives, he always had a cast iron alibi, which tells us that he must have had an accomplice. And you claim that was Inspector Gregson? What the hell do you think you're saying, huh? A boss would never done nothing like that. And yet, when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense. No, it can't be. Also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? That Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper. And so there's no way that the person giving him his orders was Lord 1-6. Might as well let me check this. Alright. No, the true Reaper is somebody else. Kuluk01 is not the Reaper. A predictable response from someone who's advocating for the man. And even it's true that Gregson was operating as an agent of the Reaper, the suggestion that he went aboard the SS Rose on an assassination mission doesn't follow at all. No, you have some solid reason for doubting the assertion, do you, Console? Absolutely. It's very simple. On the day in question, nobody was killed aboard that steamship. What? Somebody was? Professor Mikitova and Judge Jukoko were on that very ship. If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain we would have heard about it. That's so funny. You're right, of course, no suspicious deaths were reported on board the ship. But I think perhaps you've missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life. What? Because he failed, you say? What? Gregson did board the SS Bruce that night with the intention of dispatching his mark. But this mission ended in failure. Failure? It seems that the defense hasn't yet grasped a very important detail here. What are you talking about? What detail? Inspector Gina Lestrade. What? The victim's notebook that you read. An excerpt from earlier. That doesn't contain details of secret investigation at all. It describes 10 years of assassination plots to be carried out by the Reaper of the Bellion. You're lying. Even if all them bloodshots, what got taken out had it coming? The boss who went the Reaper. Poor Jenna. There's no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activities. He might just be an apprentice, but if you spent any time at Scotland Yard, you must have heard rumors. I heard them. Nothing. And I don't believe a word of it. Then testify in as a representative of Scotland Yard. Consider it your chance to defend your boss. I don't. I concur. The witness will give a new formal testimony. Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about Inspector Gregson's secret notebook. Yes, this notebook does have a lot of stuff about what the Reaper got up to this past 10 years. Names of victims, dates and places and stuff. And the last entry in there was 31st October. Said gross for the place and the date, and then the name of the mark. Mark? There was a note about him being a criminal what got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. 10 years ago? But honest, the boss didn't do none of it. He was just investigating the Reapers, that's all. Very strange. Very strange indeed. A personal opinion out of your testimony, witness. We require only established fact here. This must be so hard for her. Can't deny it now, surely. Резкий Naruhodo. What can I deny? The notebook contains a name. Can you have some notifications? And this is... Alright. The name of the funnel mark and the location where the assassination would take place. That's information that the victim could only have known. He was working with the Reaper. Someone provided this information and it was fake. So, who was to be this funnel mark? Wait a second. 10 years ago, he escaped Reapers. So it was him himself. Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade, read the name for the court. The name is written alongside the entry that mentioned the cruise on 31st October. How do you read this then? It is still not your strong suit. It's on the problem, alright? Hold on. It's a funny name. It's un-English. It's hard to read. So it's someone from overseas? We have a bash with it. Say... Sure... Oh... I don't know. Japanese is the easiest language to read. It's the easiest one. Say Shiro. What can be the problem? Jigohon. Well, you don't know where to press stress, etc. because there's no stress. But still it's easy. Huh? It can't be. Seishiro Jigoko? But it's Judge Jigoko. Seishiro Jigoko, certainly not an English name. You're right. But it can't be right. I know Judge Jigoko, and I saw him the day before yesterday here in London. So I know for a fact that the man hasn't been assassinated. As I said, the Reaper failed. Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and return to British shores. But the Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake, so he killed the inspector personally. The Reaper, of course, being the accused, Kuluk01's. It's an undeniably logical argument. Kazuma, you planned for the trial to go this way all along, didn't you?
Mata!
What? do you get this fine? Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice whilst I stand accused of murder. 1-6. The accused has no right to speak uninvited in court. He will return to the dock. Say nothing of whether or not I am the Reaper. It is the task of this court to decide. But this one thing I can say unequivocally. That girl is no detective. What? That's right, I aren't. I'm an inspector. Repeating rumors heard around the yard. Written entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. That's not testimony, it's practically a script. No doubt the rest of this trial will go exactly as you clearly planned. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure. I'm the Reaper who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself. By attempting to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for testimony. What did you say? Mr. Naruhodo, this is our chance. My lord, the defense requests that the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to important information relating to the testimony just given by the witness. You have 1 hour to spare? Hello, game. Very well. I'll make an exception and grant the request. Defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination. Maybe also have only just 1 hour. Who knows? I don't know really. Then allow me to toast the court's impartiality. This word. Then raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counsel for the defense, begin the cross-examination immediately. And what was the testimony? At once, my lord. Oh, this one. Yeah, this notebook does have a lot of stuff, okay. Know this. Names, dates. Alright. Set rules for the place on the date and then the name of the mark. Okay, we need the name first. And you said that the mark listed was Seishiro Jugoku. That's what it says. Funny name if you ask me. Which way? And I thought your name was odd. So pleased to have lost my crown there. Mr. Jugoku is the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of Judicature. It's English which is hard to read. I remember the man. He came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago. Studied international law and diplomacy under your tutelage, Lord Strongheart. That bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say. So, Lord Strongheart was Judge Jigoku's mentor. If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now. 10 years ago, after that fateful case. Precisely. In the aftermath of the professor case, his repatriation was organized immediately. It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook. I didn't think it was possible, but the mood has got even worse now. Maybe I'll just keep talking. What? Should I admit her testimony? Note about him being a criminal what got away from the Reaper in court 10 years. What do you mean, a criminal? Judge Jugoku is no criminal. Well, don't ask me, I don't know nothing about it. Do you remember what Father told us? That Judge Jugoku did once appear in court here in Britain. It was related to the professor case, I'm sure. Yes, of course, you're right. Seishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the study, to the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and actually managed to break the witness stand. He also said some contemptuous words about the British empires, for which he was charged. It was a pitiful situation, yes. I'd forgotten all about it, but I prosecuted the trial too, as it happens. You did? Yes, you know about this. It was considered to be an adjunct to the professor of proceedings, you see? But he was acquainted after being told to make reparation for the damage caused to the stand. And there you have it. Have what? Sure, the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule. That there's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike. What? No! Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Jericho was targeted for assassination? The man was sent back to Japan immediately after that trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is. With a broken witness stand? Come on, that's absurd. To take someone's life for that? Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd, killing those who have been found innocent? Clearly, the rules by which the man operates are beyond a sane person's comprehension. But only the boss didn't do none of it. So you have complete faith that Inspector Gregson is innocent in all of this? Because I do. I mean, I owe him that, don't I? Because he the only one what had faith in me. You know, the boss promised me he did. He promised me that even though I was just a diver, he could turn me into a top-notch detective. A girl with a good heart like that, I'm gonna go and rob people of their futures, is he? Every single person killed by the Reaper was a criminal of the first order. No lives like that have no compunction about robbing hundreds of others of their futures. They're ludicrous acquaintances in court gives them the freedom to make hundreds more suffer. I don't... So what? You justified your actions because you were protecting innocent people's futures? I'm not suggesting that the Reaper's methods are justified at all, but life isn't black and white, that's all I say. So that's what we have to work with. It may help us that Kuluk01's is in the stand too. Yes, perhaps. Sure, Gina knows nothing she has already told us. There's no point trying to get more out of her. Did you notice how Kazuma-sama reacted to Kuluk01's words? They called him an even more sinister Reaper, you mean? Well, I'm sure Kazuma intends to eliminate any shred of doubt that the man is guilty. He's looking for revenge against the person he considers to be his father's killer. So, no, it's kinda obvious that he tried to get more information about the case 10 years ago than about this current one. I do worry that if we fail to find a discrepancy in this testimony somewhere, a trial may end and adjudication won't go in our favor. Let's listen carefully again to what everybody's saying. Well, there's only 2 presses left, right? In other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as a Reaper. Not you and all, that's the only explanation, is it? He could have been investigating the Reaper in secret, and that notebook said what he found out. if I may. When originally people began referring to me as the Reaper and an object, I believed the power to intimidate London's criminal classes into compliance is allowed to be beneficial. But you carried out your own investigation into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yes, and those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper. One arm? What are you on about? The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of their game. There's simply no way one person could have taken them alone. The Reaper is an organization. Is you at its head? I had spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. So, being able to check the most recent entry in his book, I knew the location. Knew it said Rose? Believing it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club, I went there on the day in question to investigate. Alone. So that explains why several members of the club claim to have seen you there. But of course, the inspector was not there, because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. Very well then, back to your testimony about the contents of this notebook. How did he know about the trunk? Fine. Собственно, Mr. Naruhodo, you seemed a little shocked by something a moment ago. Wait a second, you want to say that Kazuma broke his katana? Well, it's possible. No, it's alright, I was thinking this, aren't I? Okay, this one. Names of victims, dates, places and stuff. What in particular? Well, beside the victims' names, this other name kept cropping up. What other name was that? It's the one I told you yesterday, the same name written over and over again. You mean Assassin? Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend of yours or something, isn't she? Were you even listening yesterday? Assassin. The assassin. What? Like a killer, you mean? Gregson was a tactician, the one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the marks thoroughly, finding out when they would be vulnerable and who to use to get at them. But the person actually executing his plans was someone else, you're saying? If that's true, then the Reaper does indeed start to sound like an organized group of vigilants. So perhaps, would I say it as a passport document? Permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. So that additional person have been merely as an assassin was meant to take Seishiro Jigoku's life. Jenna, can you confirm that against the final entries that listed Gross and Seishiro Jigoku? What name was written? Well, that's the only entries that didn't have a name next to it, as it happens. What? It just had like a question mark. Someone there, I think. In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case. But Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not? How infuriating. A nameless assassin. What? Right. I've just about enough of this. Jenna? All this nonsense about the boss planning to kill people is cobbler. It's cobblers. Come on, Odo. Yes? Why aren't you saying nothing? Why? Why aren't you yelling out objection or summit? Couldn't find the floor. You do usually. Someone's lying here, no question. Gotta work out who it is. Please, for the boss. That outburst was an insult to the court and to your own testimony. I might have known that a common pickpocket from the back slums couldn't make a detective. When this trial is over, you will forfeit your warrant card, Miss Lestrade. Is it clear? I've had with the lot of you. It slices every bleeding place you look in this world, innit? Well, I've had enough. So have I. After that little speech of Gina's, I've made up my mind. To the what, Mr. Rohodo? There was one point in this cross-examination when something that was said just didn't sit alright with me. One statement that seemed odd? About what? Do you mean? I'm going to let Gina's player, for help, fall on deep earth. You've got to find a flaw somewhere. I want to thank you, Gina. You helped me find my resolve. What do you mean? Amongst everything you heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation, one inconsistency. What? An inconsistency? Really, Odo? I don't quite know what it means yet, but... Yes, this inconsistency, it's something what was said by... a reader? Let's check our audience. Oh, strong heart? Okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 variants to check. Reaper said about organization. Kazuma said I don't know what. Let's try Barak 16. Of course, by you, Lord 16. Me? What? The face has turned ashen. How could he know? Is what you're thinking? If my face has turned ashen, it's because I'm thinking. How could he? I don't know where you're going with this, but maybe the evidence you always say about the show the card will clarify. In that case, the defense will present evidence to what? Substantiate its claim. To which piece of evidence does its alleged inconsistency relate? What? I don't even know. Let's see everything. Some of this. Oh, wait a second, it's not even this. Wrong, right? Okay, I don't remember what they were saying, that's the problem. I remember he said about organization, what Strongheart and Kazuma said, and Gina. I don't remember. Anyway, I can I still need to show some evidence, right? So if I check everything, I'll see. Definitely not this. Not this. What was in the passport? Additional personal travel. Oh yeah, Kazuma and Trunk, of course. Kazuma and Trunk, I was thinking about this. Myself. I had hoped not to have to present this evidence, but you leave me no choice. What do you say to this, Lord 16? But when did he say maybe it's not drunk? Fueled by Correct. Presenting that evidence was a mistake. I suggest you withdraw it. Sorry? Good advice. Because you turned decidedly Ashen. So now I can select person one more time? Only hope the Reaper doesn't hold it against you. Fingers crossed. Seeing this line of argument has run its course, I suggest you learn from your mistakes before you make a fatal one in the eyes of the Reaper. Better listen very carefully to the testimony again. To the testimony again, oh my god. So that's what we have to work with. Call him even more sinister. Wait a second, let's skip it. Should I press everything again to see? Let's press everything again to see for sure. He said about the organization. That's why he selected him. There was tons of text here. And that's why they saw him as a... Okay, here it is. Here he said... Metal trunk, right? Let's try metal trunk. For Kazuma. But I don't know why it's inconsistency. Maybe I'm wrong again. I don't know. By you, Kazuma Asagi. Me? Is this some attempt at filibustering council? Prosecutor Asagi has given notice about it. But your suggestion I said that was inconsistent. You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I present the relevant piece of evidence, I mention your release. What you've done. Very well then, counsel, go ahead. What evidence reveals this alleged inconsistency? It's something Prosecutor Asagi has said, so it's strong. This is a trunk that belonged to Inspector Gregson. A metal construction, is it? Suddenly very heavy. What's this? A bloodstain? And totally fresh one too. What? You mean that grease from all the bones fish and chips? Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. This suggests that the victim was traveling with that luggage when he was killed. Can't be. There was no mention of any trunk in Scotland Yard's report. Yes, there's a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with the trunk, hoping to sell it. And I found it, me with my nose for trouble. Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Unless, of course, talking about somebody who was present when the victim was killed. And yet, during the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said this, Kazuma. Because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. So, the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk? Oh, you killed him. Of course not. We know the man went on a trip to France. Where else would he have put his passport? But you knew it was a metal trunk. Answer me honestly, Kazuma. On 31st October, where exactly were you? At the port of Dunkirk, on board the SS Gross. Is it the answer you're looking for, Ryonsuke? Kazuma, what did you... I didn't consider the possibility before, but if Kazuma was there on the ship, then it can only have been for one purpose. No, Mr. Naruhodo, surely you don't think? Come on, Ryonsuke, you know the rules. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is evidence, is hard evidence. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he tried. So, as it stands, you've brought nothing. Kazuma, are you challenging me to prove it beyond all reasonable doubt? That you were that day in the same place as the inspector? He was there with Gregson? There's a clue that you overlooked, a secret that Tran can tell us. Can't be sure at this point, I'll need to verify it. But I have a nasty feeling that I'm going to be right. The accusation being made is deeply disturbing, but nevertheless, we must test it. Defense will identify with the court where in the trunk this alleged clue is to be found. With the evidence that ties prosecutor Asagi to Inspector Gregson. He already broke his sword. So... this one? I mean... there's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the trunk here, like the tip of a blade. A blade? Kazuma, slung around your waist as ever today. Is a esteemed blade, Karama? Of course it is. Won't you draw it here in this courtroom? For all to see? Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer. Well, if watch Prosecutor Asagi like a hawk. Won't be necessary. Oh no. The tip is broken. Can we submit it as evidence and I can check this sword? If the fragments of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there is Inspector Gregson will be answered. Agreed. Kazuma, Asagi. Expertly done, Ryonsuke. That's a point to you, and well deserved. Do you mean to tell the court, Prosecutor Asagi? Yes, on 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. So the additional person authorized to travel was me, and the mission was the assassination of the Mark. What? Well, this I didn't expect. What? Indeed. You mean you're the killer whose name was omitted from the notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Judge Jigoho? Maybe he must actually killed Gregson instead. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one. Explain. I accepted the assassination mission, yes, and I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk, but I never had any intention of carrying out the plan. You were never going to do it? Can't believe Kazuma somehow, I'm sure. After all, Judge Jigoku arrived safely in London the following day. On the 31st, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson, traveled to Dover from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. Then we boarded the SS Bruce and made for the cabin deck as indicated in the plan. We went to Judge Jigoku's cabin? Exactly. He wasn't there though. We decided to wait, but you already told us you had no intention of going through with it anyway. I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life, so I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at a boarding house in the town and returned to England the following morning. A boarding house in Dunkirk? My signature will be in the register book. It would be simple enough to verify. Then what became of Jigoku? Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England as well and failed to complete the mission, so Gregson was really the bad guy? He met with the Reaper on Preston Street to report the failure, causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger and end his wretched agent's life. That's the real truth behind Inspector Gregson murder. But if you did nothing as you claim, how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the inspector's trunk? I don't need to answer that. The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of a Japanese blade isn't relevant to the case. And accordingly, I choose to exercise my right to silence on that matter. Be that as it may, the court will sequester the sword as evidence finally. As you wish, my lord. He did it on purpose? That we will figure it out? Now I must check this sword. Let's take immediate action now. To verify whether Seishiro Jigoku remains unharmed. Wait a second. So, I cannot check it! I cannot check it right now, it's kinda stupid because definitely should be here. Definitely, 100% sure. Karama, the Great Blade. It's such a scene of beauty, I want to gaze on it for hours. Or maybe now I can check? For hours. Where's this tip? The tip of a great sword, broken. It's such a shame it's been so meticulously carved for all the years. Yeah, the problem is that katanas are fragile, can only scare Karma's swords. Kazuma must have really taken a spin for that to happen. Alright. Right now can I check it? But I'm more than sure about it, because every katana is like this. See it many times. I saw it many times. What? Remains unharmed? I agree, that should be our first priority. Oh yeah, it's already 10 o'clock. So... Indeed. Hmm. 10 o'clock, so will Kuluk play today or not? Definitely an not sure if I will to finish this game tomorrow, but I will try. Agree, that should be our first priority. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday. I believe he's still alive. How did you? When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should arise. You don't mean to say that you think Judge Jiggle may have been killed? The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal, and he has the power and influence to give orders from the inside of a prison cell. Isn't that right, Lord 16? And the second one, if I were truly the Reaper, I'd be able to tell you. Order in court. Order! We'll take an emergency recess for 30 minutes. What, to be continued now? Guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. Will be investigation again? If the man can't be located within half an hour, we'll have to assume the worst. No, not Judge Jiggle. No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who'd only just arrived in the country. Except that is, the Reaper wanted to finish all the marks that slipped through the net 10 years ago. I have to agree. Mr. Naruhodo, for the defense's sake. My lord, I sincerely hope we are successful. If we are unable to confirm that Mr. Jigoku's healthy existence in the next 30 minutes, we'll face grave difficulties. Why? Court is adjourned for 30 minutes. Well, I believe it's to be continued. No? Still not? I wonder why. Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. Feel as though I'm in a nightmare. Oh my god, why did I close this? Nightmare. Can hardly believe it either, but on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories. I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. Why we didn't ask who actually requested this assassination? Gregson or somebody else? Deduction time. If something awful has happened to Judge Jigoku, then I feel as though things will only spiral farther and farther out of control. From the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning, that strange sensation that we were hurrying towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Fortunately though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait now. We're out of options. Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last error. Of course. The little Mr. Holstone that Iris gave us already? If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, then just pull this little Holstone earth as hard as you possibly can. Perhaps now is the time. Should I go? For Harris Earth or not? No. I think it's not time. But who knows? What? Now? It's just the beginning. And hello, yeah, Claude. This is one of Annie's inventions. There's no telling what might happen. For all I know, it could cause a huge explosion. I'm not sure you should be thinking like that, Mr. Naruhodo. I think there's like maybe 4 more hours. Just at the very beginning. Compared to the trial ending immediately after this process, a huge explosion might be preferable. I'm not sure you should be thinking at Miss Susato. But I suppose you're right. If there was ever time for taking a risk, it's now. No, I definitely think that it's 4 or even 5 hours. Here goes then, I'm going to do it. Good luck, Mr. Naruhodo. No looking back. What? Have? Heave? That scream. Sound like Mr. Holmes. Mr. Holmes? Where are you? Is it Voodoo Doll? Hey, my dear fellow, here. It's a fellow doll talking, it's walkie-talkie, oh my god. Well, there's again, Mr. Naruhodo. As hard as you can. Alright, then I'll put all my strength into it. Please, dear fellows, you don't need to pull my arrow off. How's it working? But it's working very strange. And where's he, on the ship? Indeed. Mr. Holmes, where are you? Myself and my trusty partner are presently on the first-class cabin area of the SS Gross. The SS Gross? She left door last night after the final pieces of cargo were loaded. Oh, gross. What? Is it magnetic what? They currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underway again in half an hour. But it can't be walkie-talkie because they're in France already. So it's... Cell phone? You've taken a ship to France? Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we were hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port, in order to board this vessel in time. So you mean you already worked it out? That the steamship was where everything really took place. Mr. Naruhodo praying, what is my name? Sherlock Holmes, world famous great detective? Decided to perfection, well done. You're genius, Mr. Holmes. What? That's the only word for it. Nice. Miss Susato, gently with this genius's error, please. Why? I'm ever so sorry. If I may, Holmes. Oh, there you are, Mikotoba. You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Gross at Scotland Yard yesterday when we examined that notebook and recalled my steamship ticket. What? What happened at the end? But of course it was, my dear fellow. And not once did I controvert that fact. I merely had our cardboard companions utter my name. Yes, you did, didn't you? Just enter our recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. And if we are unable to present any new leads then, I'm afraid to say... Don't fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt we shall have welcome news for you within the half hour. I don't understand how it's working. Why it's moving like this? Thank you, Mr. Holmes. That would be wonderful. Until then, later then. Yes. You'll be heard from us if you're not in touch with us. Shouldn't be hearing anything if you keep tugging on my errands that mindless fashion. Whatever was the idea behind making a receiver operated in that way in the first place, Holmes? Why is there they use what I know? It's Iris' invention, not mine. It's gone. Yes, I know how much you enjoy being the hero of our house. We have but how that now before the gross puts to say again. If we don't conclude our investigation rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. That does, Mikadaba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin. You again! What's on his hand? I don't know yet. First class cabin number 2. Yes, this is the one. But I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be a plain sailing. Other one. What's on his head? Hand. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fellow. Yes? Chocolates? What? Why you are loitering here? Who are you? My dear fellow, do you not recognize a world-famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you? It's Holmes, actually. Do you not recognize world-traveling great sailor? What? It's Stroganoff. But it's chicken? Stroganoff? When you see? Great detective? I don't think so. Do you see that, Mikatoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine. Never heard about chicken stroganoff. It's always beef. Goodness me, is that a tool that says Holmes? I say, whilst such adoration is flattering naturally, it does leave me a little cold. What are you talking about, beef? No! How distressing! My lord devotee knows me only by name and not by appearance. And yet, I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman. Currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact. How could you know this? Elementary, my dear Mikatoba. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship, you see? We are looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jigoko. There is no one with this name on board, but we know that he purchased a ticket for passage. Oh, you mean Easterman? He left ship 2 hours ago. Here, at Dunkirk, he said something about emergency, I think. What? Are you sure? So, Sasha was released, that we're after him. Has he? His cabin is the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please. No, I have orders not to let even mouse inside. Mikadawa, be a good man and draw this seller's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so that he leaves the area. Doesn't great detective see that even sailors have ears, both left and right? Curses, the plan is ruined, and you have only yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Holmes. Forget it, cabin door is locked. Even if I am not here, you cannot get inside. Mikatawa, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you? Opening any lock? You're saying when I end, you'll start it? I can end at any time, Kuluk. At any time. Because already past 10, missing a pair of 5 seconds. So if you'll be so kind as to afford me the requisite time, oh friend. In your typically accommodation manner. Well, okay. As soon as he starts his deduction case, I will continue tomorrow with it. How could I refuse such a typically unappealing request, old friend? So I need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds. 5 seconds, do I? Good man, so the game is afoot. Oh, wait a second. I need to examine it even. What about it? Oh, the switch for the electrical lights. Perhaps if I were to turn off the lights, the crewman would be able to see what we were doing. No, I think not. It would never work, surely. I need to concoct another distraction. What about mousetrap? This must be a mousetrap, I think. Perhaps I could distract the crewman's attention with this somehow. That sounds like Big Mouse in trap. And actually, wait a second, no. I will also end the stream right now, in this case. And of course, see you tomorrow. I will bring bucket of water later and put out of misery. Don't like the sound of that. In any case, my dear friends, that was quite unconvincing. Only Japanese mice make a chew sound. Really. Let's actually end it now. I think it's like, really, like 4 hours left, so this means... so I think tomorrow we'll finish it. Maybe not. Okay, let's raid somebody. Well, Kuluk is not online right now, so let's raid somebody else. So I need to turn on the computer, turn on another one, and... who should I raid? Oh, Mr. Kuluk01's. Playing something on Nintendo 64. I've raided him so many times. And there's other people who I was not able to raid. Okay, so Kuluk01's will be raided tomorrow and next time when he will be online. Today I see one very rare person which I must raid, simply. Despite that, their channel has follow subscriber on the channel. Well, I think there were too many trolls or something. Anyway, that's kinda all for today. And thank you for stopping by, everyone. Kuluk, Venom, anyway, Raba. Zidi was here. And until tomorrow. Oh, Richard, of course. Yeah. See you next time. Bye.